Hey, Dan Passarelli here. One of the most important things that I and John Kamisic talk about is managing your risk and just how important it is to manage risk. And one of the go-to techniques that people use to manage risk is the stop order. Stop orders are very popular, and with certain types of trading, people will give you the guidance, instructors like me or John will give you the guidance to say you should be using stop orders. But I'm here to tell you that there are some situations where you definitely don't want to use a stop order. So this is an option chain of Apple. And let's say I buy these 32-day 190 calls at $3.40. Okay, because I'm bullish here in the short term. Well, what I can do is I could set my profit target and at the same time put in a good till cancel OCO order to sell these calls that I bought at 340 at say like $3, right? Well, so that's fine. If the stock goes down and trades at or is offered at $3, I would sell these calls. But because the bid is 10 cents lower than the offer here, and we assume that that's always going to be the case, well, I'm actually going to sell those calls at $2.90, and that's okay. But when it comes to spreads, it gets a little bit trickier because if, let's say I bought these 190 calls at 340, but then I sold these $2 calls at 75 cents. Well, the bid there is 340 minus 75. The offer would be 330 minus 80. So basically, if we take the width of this bid-ask spread plus the width of this bid-ask spread, that gives us the width of the bid-ask spread for this call spread itself. It's 15 cents wide. It's wider than just either one of the individual legs. So the problem there with using good till cancel orders with using stop orders is that, first of all, the delta of the spread is smaller, so the stock would have to move down a lot more in order for the option to actually trigger. And when time is such an important component, it kind of makes for not a very good use of the stop order. But the other part of that is this trade is going to execute 15 cents below the stop price instead of just 10 cents. The wider bid-ask spreads of vertical spreads make using stop orders just a lot worse. So if we don't use stop orders, what is the alternative? Well, the alternative is to simply set an alert. The reason why we're putting on a trade like this is because we look at some sort of probably technical analysis. And if the stock ends up going down to a certain level, that technical analysis probably no longer holds. Like if the stock goes through support, we probably don't want to have on this bull call spread. So what we would do is we would set an alert for if Apple goes below support, whatever the support line is, that's when it would send us an alert and we would close the trade manually where we're able to middle the market instead of rely on how stops work. So I hope that helps, or at least is something to think about. This is Dan Passarelli, Trade Smart.